We're now going to have a chat to Sonya, relationship business coaching guru. Welcome back, Sonya.
Thanks, it's so nice to be here. Yeah, great.
So for our last week, from our last talk, I've got some more questions for you
Okay, good.
about relationships and things like that. So
Yeah.
I think I've got a top 10 list now.
You have. You've been working on it all week.
So have you.
All the secrets out.
Yeah, I think, what we're going to do the next 7 weeks is really talk about some of the different ways that you can really begin to work on yourself or work within relationships to attract your ideal partner. And so one of the things I want to talk about today was really looking at discernment. I think that's a big thing that a lot of people have to learn when they're first really looking to create their lifetime partner, is how to discern better, how to choose better the people they meet and the different relationships that they encounter. So it's one of the things that I work very hard on with my clients. I help them actually feel how to discern between someone who's the right person and someone who's the wrong person.
Okay.
I think that we all have red flags as we're really getting into dating and trying to meet our ideal partner. We have kind of these red flags that come in and we don't listen to our intuition. We stop listening to ourselves, and it's a really important thing to help people with.
We lose that ability to remain subjective and, to remain objective, and the subjectiveness kicks in at the excitement and thrill of a relationship or whatever, whether it be emotional or even business or financial, whatever you're building, that you can get carried away and you lose that whole filter process of keeping what the basics of what can build you a good relationship.
Yeah, and I think sometimes we meet someone and, like you were said, we might be attracted to them, or we really want someone,
Exactly.
and so we just totally ignore the thing in our the pit in our stomach, or the thing that says, hey, this is not quite right.
Yeah.
And so it's a really important facet. I find I do a lot of work with people on that. We tend to have a lot of patterns or things that ignore what our intuition tells us.
Yes.
And we have to really learn to trust ourselves and learn to trust our intuition and learn to trust our bodies. Our body already has a sense. Yeah. And I think that's really important as you're learning, as you really are committed to finding your ideal partner. It's really important to begin to look at yourself and trust yourself and listen to yourself. So that's one of the things that I really work on when I'm working with people.
But you'd find 99% out of 100 would go for the person they feel for, not trust that gut feeling. It's really hard to step back and think, wow, he's the wrong guy. But you think, oh, I love him, he'll change, I'll change him. And, I hear that all the time, and you would too as well.
Yeah, I think that's a primary thing, is that we think we can change them. And
Yes,
I think everyone goes through that, even though those are in fantastic relationships. You have this idea that, I can just change that little piece of them, it's okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we disempower the people we're with because we're trying to change them
yes.
versus really, really looking at who they are and appreciating and loving who they are because they're the right person for us. I think it's so much about passion and romance and connection, soulmate kind of ideas, and also about discernment and reasoning and understanding, using both our heart and our head when we're looking for a relationship.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It can be a real pitfall when, like you said, people go into a relationship and they think, I'll change this person, or they're perfect in so many ways, but there's just that little bit, but I can change them with that. Like even just a little bit might be taking away from something that is a real, strong part of their personality and their persona, and then you start doing that, it does create problems. No matter 90% could be right, but if you try to change even a fundamental 10%, you're going to be in trouble, aren't you?
Yeah, I think so. I think that we have to learn to accept. I mean, there's things we'll never find the perfect person. So we kind of pick our top things that are really important. Usually, someone who aligns with our values, someone who appreciates us for who we are. You look for those top things, and then you learn to appreciate and look over those minor things.
Yeah, you tend to accept them, ignore them, overlook them, and just think, oh well, put that to the side. He'll change, or it's an acceptance thing, or you put up with it.
Yeah. And so,
It's not a good recipe at the end, no.
No, I don't think so. And so I think one of the things is really discernment, and that really takes me sort of into another thing that's really important when you're looking for your ideal partner, is learning to understand who your authentic self is. That's one of the things I work on with people as well, is how do we begin to understand who we really are? Because if you don't know yourself, there's no way you can attract your ideal partner. And so you start to look at what are the things that really make you tick, what are the things that you really care about. So often we'll put on our list, okay, I want someone who has money, who's stable, who's good looking, who's, you know, these various, these various basic things, but we don't look at the things that really make us happy. You know, like someone who really loves on us a lot, you know, maybe we're really touchy-feely, or someone who really like will support us and push us to do our best. You know, we don't look at the things that really make us thrive. And those are the things that we have to look for in a partner. And so one of the cool things I really do with my clients is I look at, I help them see who their authentic self is. And that this is true for whether it's relationships or whether I'm working on people in their businesses. If you are coming from that authentic self, you're so motivated and passionate that people are just completely attracted to you. So attracting your partner is like that easy because you're really moving into it.
So it's like being in your zone. When you're in your zone, you know where you're going in life, and you pull other people in who are on that level, a very similar level, because I don't think you tend to invest too much into the people who probably, not maybe consciously, but you just sort of, you're rolling in a direction and you're so strong rolling in that direction that people just, you know, become attracted to you as well.
Yeah, and you look at that, you can see that in the world. You look at the people who really attract a following, right?
Yes.
Who really attract thousands of people. And it's because they're living in their passion. They're really exuding their authentic self. And you feel it. You know, and so of course you're interested in them, you're excited about them.
It's just alive, it's there, they've got that buzz, that vibe.
Yeah, exactly. And I think with relationships it's really important because we think sometimes that if we're fake or if we put out this identity, that if we say, oh, you know, we pretend to be something that will attract more people, but what ends up happening is we attract the wrong people, right? Or they don't really feel us.
Okay.
You know, they can't really feel our authentic self. But when we're really out there and who we are, people are just coming in droves. And I find that time and time again.
So it's a bit like going back and doing self-work on yourself again, like going through, knowing who you are, have a really good, strong understanding of what you want in life and where you're going, and the like you said, and the person you want on a superficial level, but also on the fundamental level, as well, taking everything that you're looking for.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah, and I think really the beginning becomes with working on yourself. You know, it really is the piece that's the most important.
It is working on yourself.
Yeah, and knowing what you are. And I talk a lot about stepping into your authentic power. Like when you're stepping into your power, you know, that's really the place you should be attracting someone from. When you're really depressed or you're really needing someone so badly, those are the moments that, you know, really what's happening in those moments is you're not going to attract the right partner. You're going to attract someone who also needs, who's not very aligned with you, and you'll start to let your discernment really slip in those moments.
Righto, so another good week of tips from Sonya on building successful relationships. Sonya, thanks very much for coming on board to Beyond again.
Yeah,
we look forward to speaking with you next week.
Yeah,
for the third instalment. Coming up, Mr. Edward Scissorhands himself, Dan, is going to talk to us all about hairstyles.